Welcome back. I thought I'd do a quick video today on the Braun Series 3 ProSkin shaver. I picked one of these up myself just before Christmas, so the idea of the video is really going to be an unboxing and to give you an idea what I think about this shaver using it for the last couple of months. I'm showing the outside of the box just to give you an idea of some of the features. Pretty typical for a shaver in this price range. You get around about 3/4 of an hour out of a full charge. There are a couple of cheaper ones out there, but I got this one because I prefer a wet and dry shaver myself. All you get with this one is a protective cap, the charger and the shaver itself. They do have other packs where you can get a charging dock. I've also seen some kits where you can get some attachment combs for beard trimming and things like that. Now we're on to the shaver. The first thing that struck me with this is it does feel quite nicely made, even though it's not an expensive shaver. There's a good firm button for the power switch, and I just find the overall fit and finish to be quite good really. It is pretty grippy, particularly with that blue rubberized finish around the sides. Even when it's wet, you've still got a pretty good hold on the shaver, in contrast to some of the plastic ones that I've used that don't really give you that much grip. I also like the trimmer. That stays in place quite nicely. Just press the button in there to release it, and it's quite firm compared to some of the other ones that I've used, which can sort of flop around a little bit. There's your power charging socket at the bottom. Do wish some of these makers would go with the Type-C. That might be quite useful. Done a close-up shot for you on the foil head. You can see the middle part. That's really designed as a sort of micro comb to pick up longer hairs, and you do have quite a bit of movement, at least on the two outer foils. Worth noting that this is the ProSkin one, so it's a step up from the very entry-level ones that Braun make. So I would expect the head to be a bit better in terms of the movement and contours. The design is a little bit different to some of the older Braun ones where you could take off the foil and you'd see the cutters. They're sort of integrated just underneath the foil. So if you're going to replace it, you have to replace the whole unit itself rather than the foil and cutters separately. Be interesting to see how that holds up. I'd expect to get probably a couple of years use out of a single foil. The plastic cover they give you, only real purpose for that is just to prevent damage to the foil heads. You can also get a hard case for these shavers as well, where you can put them in that if you're travelling around. It's also worth mentioning that this is nickel metal hydride, it's not lithium ion. Not sure that that will make much difference, but it does mean it's a bit heavier than some of the other ones that I've used. No doubt the more expensive ones do feel a bit more premium, but this is good enough for me to get the job done. We've got the two green bars on this and a red bar which will flash when the battery is low or empty. Obviously a display would be better, but this is what you get at this price point. Charging time was just under an hour, and worth pointing out that you can't run this when you're charging it. As far as the overall shaving experience with this, it is definitely better than previous Braun shavers that I've used, and that would be quite some time ago. But I'm finding the shaving experience is pretty good, but not great in terms of comfort. Comfort is just okay when shaving, and you do have to work around the neck area a bit more than some of the rotary shavers. It's a perfectly okay dry shave with this, but I find that it is much more comfortable with a wet shave, and I just put my normal shaving foam on for that. You can use gel or foam, it's up to yourself. I did mention earlier that the motors were quite fast on this, and it is a fairly noisy shaver really in comparison to the Philips shaver that I have. That is a good 10 decibels quieter. Easy enough to clean though. Just take the top off, you can tap that out, and then the supplied brush, use that to clear out the hairs from the top of the main unit. It's probably easier to just rinse it under a tap, and I tend to do that myself. If you want to have a shower and a shave at the same time, there's no problems with that. It is fully waterproof. I haven't seen any problems using this for the last couple of months in terms of the water resistance. I'm reasonably happy with the shaver overall, primarily because I'm using it as a wet shaver, but I probably do a comparison between this and the Philips shaver because they're two completely different designs and there are pros and cons to both. There are some things where I like this better than the Philips, and there are some ways where I think the Philips is a bit better than this Braun shaver. And thanks for watching. It is very much appreciated, and hopefully see you in my next video coming up soon.